What is up, YouTube? It's the right gamer with the right channel, right content, and we are back with another video. And yeah, it's been a minute, guys. You know, it's been about 2-3 weeks since I've uploaded on this channel, but we're gonna start getting more consistent. I know I've said that in the past, but this is that time. Got a little bit more equipment, so if you would do me a favor, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss videos. That would really help me out. But since we're just getting back into this YouTube thing, we're gonna start slow, and I decided we're gonna do a little bit of a simpler video idea. We're gonna go into NBA Twitter, the place with the most knowledgeable NBA fans, of course. We're going to go into that search bar, search up NBA hot takes, and just see what comes up. I'm gonna be reacting to about 5 to 7 of these just to see what comes up and see how I feel about these. And yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Hot take: Jordan Clarkson is the best one-on-one player in the NBA right now. Now, let me start this by saying I don't have any hate toward Jordan Clarkson. He's having an absolutely amazing season. Is a 6th man of the year candidate, definitely the front runner for that in my opinion. Obviously one of the best bench players in the NBA. He's a really dynamic scorer, a great three-point shooter, is a decent playmaker, and all-around great player. So I don't have any hate for Jordan Clarkson or the Jazz, but obviously this is just not true, because you know there's Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, James Harden, Luka Doncic, Jayson Tatum, Kemba Walker, Donovan Mitchell, who was on his team, Mike Conley, who was on his team. Like, bro, hot take: the Jazz are a top 3 team in the NBA right now. Now, obviously the Jazz have been off to an absolutely amazing start. At the time of this video, I believe they're like something like 15-5 or something like that, which is absolutely insane. Nobody expecting them to be this good so far. Donovan Mitchell is elevating his game. He's become a much better playmaker. Mike Conley is getting back into his groove. Jordan Clarkson is having an amazing season, like I said before. Rudy Gobert, obviously the defensive anchor. But I don't really think that they're a true contender, because a lot of their great play has been due to really hot shooting. Like, an insane amount of those players are shooting really well from 3. Like, even Royce O'Neal is being like a 40% 3-point shooter, which I'm not saying that he hasn't improved his shot, but it's just like, it just seems like a lot of hot shooting to me. And I just don't think they have, you know, more talent or the ability to match up well with teams like the Lakers or the Clippers, the Bucks, or the Nets. And I know I'm talking about East teams as well, but I'm just talking about that because he said it was a top 3 team in the NBA, and I don't think he's better than the Lakers. I don't think they're better than the Clippers. I don't think they're better than the Nets or the Bucks. The Heat at full strength, I think, would be better. You could argue about the Celtics, but it's iffy right there. But like, there's at least definitely like 4 or 5 teams that I would definitely take over the Jazz right now, even though they're having an absolutely amazing season. Props to Donovan Mitchell, props to the coach, and props to everybody on that team, but I just don't think that they are a true contender. Hot take: Jayson Tatum is better than Luka Doncic. Now, this is one that I've seen go around a lot more than most of these hot takes, but it is also one that I definitely disagree with. Like, in my opinion, Luka Doncic is a top 10 player in the NBA, and Jayson Tatum is about a top 15 player in the NBA. So like, it's not the hugest margin in the world, but I do think it's definitive that Luka Doncic has proven to be better than Jayson Tatum. Now, I'm not gonna act like, you know, Jayson Tatum isn't good, because Jayson Tatum is absolutely amazing. You know, he's an absolutely amazing scorer. He's a nice two-way player, but I feel like Luka Doncic's impact is just so much larger. And the main thing that people point to with Jayson Tatum is like being better than Luka Doncic. They're like, yeah, Luka Doncic is an amazing offensive player, but who's better on defense? That's Jayson Tatum. And obviously that's true. Jayson Tatum is a much better defender than Luka Doncic. But Luka Doncic is not, first of all, Luka Doncic is not as bad as the defender as most people say. He's about average on that end with his size. He can contest some shots, and he's putting up a lot more effort and being a lot better on that end, especially this year, which is one of the things that is nice about him. But obviously he's not as good as the defender of Jayson Tatum, but he's not as bad as people say. His rookie year, he was pretty not great, but his sophomore year and especially this year, he's been, you know, passable. His overall offensive impact is so much greater than Jayson Tatum's, just because of Not only is he a great scorer, he's also a great playmaker. He has great court vision. He's a great passer. If he had another ball handler, he would be an off-ball threat like Jayson Tatum is right now. Just overall, his impact on winning is greater right now just because of his ability to get other teammates involved while also creating for himself and being able to take over games. Like, obviously, Jayson Tatum can take over games with his scoring. Luka Doncic's vision is so much better, and Jayson Tatum has been getting better at that, but his passing and his playmaking, along with his scoring and him being a neutral on defense, I feel like Luka Doncic would just, in perfect situation on both sides, would contribute to winning a little bit more. And also some weaknesses with Jayson Tatum's game. His vision isn't really that great. He's been improving on it, but he still has some ways to go. Also, his finishing, for being a 6'8", like 6'9", really athletic forward, his finishing is below average, and his foul drawing rate is below average, which I think are two big weaknesses to Jayson Tatum's game. So I'm still gonna say Luka Doncic is better right now. But I'm not gonna act like Jayson Tatum doesn't have the potential to be the best player in the NBA, because he has the potential to be the best player in the NBA. But for right now, Luka Doncic is definitely better in my opinion. Hot take: if Carmelo Anthony played on all LeBron-led teams, Carmelo would have 3 championships by now. But y'all ain't ready for that debate. I'm ready for this debate because Carmelo Anthony was a great player in his prime, one of the most dynamic scorers that we've ever seen, especially of the 2000s. He had a great post game, a great mid-range game, could finish inside, very underrated finisher inside, has some great posterizers and some great finishes, and had a solid, respectable three-point shot that he definitely expanded on later, but it was still solid in his prime. But LeBron James is just a much better and more impactful player than a prime Carmelo Anthony. Because prime LeBron James, although he wasn't the scorer that Carmelo Anthony was, I'll give Carmelo that. Carmelo was definitely a much better scorer. Not much better, but like, he was a better scorer than LeBron James in his prime. But LeBron James was still a really good scorer, a better finisher, arguably better rebounder, although it's about even, but LeBron had more strength, but Carmelo was just naturally like more like burly as far as just like size. I think they weighed about the same, but he was a better passer, a way better playmaker, and the icing on the cake, a much better defender. Now, I know what you're thinking. In your Jayson Tatum versus Luka Doncic argument, you argued that just because Jayson Tatum was a better defender, that doesn't mean he's a better player. And yes, that is true. In that specific argument, Luka had enough of a more offensive impact to make up for him lacking on the defensive end. Carmelo doesn't have the offensive impact that LeBron has to make up for him lacking on the defensive end. LeBron James has more offensive impact with his playmaking, his passing, and his scoring, being a threat on all of those ends, while also being way better on the defensive end than Carmelo Anthony was. Then LeBron James is going to win more championships on those teams because he has more impact on winning. And a lot of those situations when they needed LeBron to take over, whether with his scoring or with his playmaking, setting others up, LeBron was able to do that. Carmelo had a bit of a tunnel vision. He had a bit of a black hole effect on his offense. While he was a great offensive player and could carry offenses, when you're putting him on a winning team, while I believe that if he had like a really like good winning team like LeBron, that he could thrive, I'm not going to say that he would win more championships than LeBron in the situations that LeBron was in, because LeBron just had a better impact on winning and he could get his other teammates open, and he just meshed better with other star players than Carmelo Anthony ever could, unless he takes a backseat role. At that time, prime Carmelo Anthony was not the guy to take a backseat role. So I'm gonna disagree with this one heavily, but this isn't even the worst. This is like somewhat okay, but the thing below this, roll the clip. An even crazier hot take: if prime Carmelo Anthony or almost any player in the NBA played on all Kevin Durant teams instead of Kevin, he would have at least 2 championships by now. Kevin went to a team that had the best record in NBA history and 2 superstars. Okay. So, first of all, Steph is a superstar. He went to a team with Steph that was a superstar. Are you calling Klay Thompson or Draymond Green a superstar? They're stars, definitely, but superstar? I feel like you're doing that just to make Kevin Durant look worse. And if almost any player in the NBA play on all Kevin Durant teams instead of Kevin, they would have 2 championships. So you're talking about the Thunder and the Warriors? Are you talking about the Thunder or are you talking about the Warriors? Because if you're talking about the Thunder, that's definitely not. And if you're talking about the Warriors, even without Kevin Durant, yes, it's arguable that they could have still won a championship. But the fact that you're even calling them Kevin Durant teams shows that you know how good Kevin Durant was and how much he elevated his team. So the fact that you would even do this to hate on Kevin Durant when you obviously know how good he is, I'm done. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell.